Okay, I am going to show you how to get started with this celebrity half drawing. So you all picked out a picture of someone that you wanted to draw, and I have marked those down the middle and split them like this is. And you're going to pick a side of your drawing to start on and tape it down in your sketchbook, just like I have here. I don't know if you can see it, but I have masking tape on the sides and the top and the bottom, just on the outside, because we have to keep this side because that is where we are going to draw. So how to get this started? Find your HB pencil probably, and I'm going to have to make marks heavy for you to be able to see them on this video, but I want the marks you make to be just dark enough that you can see them, really keep them light. And I'm going to line up here with my part that is cut away or not taped down. And I find an edge along this face. This is Paul McCartney from the Beatles, in case anybody wondered who I was drawing. So I'm going to line up my pencil here with the kind of the corner of this shadow, and then pull that out and make a little mark there. Now, I'm going to make mine kind of heavy, so hopefully you can see it. But don't make yours too heavy. Now I'm going to put them on here. And then just keep lining back up. I'm going to do the corner of the eye so I know where that's supposed to be. Probably here on this shadow. Oops, top of the shadow probably. And all you do is you put your pencil not really, just like lightly on the paper where you want to mark, and then just pull it away. Here, I probably want to mark that. I'm going to mark the top of it. Just take your time. Make sure you're marking everything that you need to. I want to check that one. I'm not sure I got that one in the right place. Yeah, pretty good. Now I'm going to mark this part of his eyelid. You can mark it as much as you want. Like I said, just don't be too heavy with it because you don't want these marks to show, and if they're not quite right, you want to be able to get rid of them. And I'm going to mark where his iris of his eye is. Bottom. Oops. And the side over here. And probably this part of his lower lid. I think that might, I'll do one out here. That should give me enough so that I can get the eye drawn. And then I'm going to go down here to the side of the nose. I've got that one sort of marked. I'm going to mark here where the shadow is. And of course, you'll know where to start this one because you've got the other half of the drawing here. So I'll mark that. So you see I've got some marks marked out. I'm going to quickly do his mouth. Maybe the point there, how far that comes up. Outside corner. Maybe where the curve is. Obviously links here, comes up a little bit. Just to help you get it laid out. Okay, then I need to quickly kind of mark, I'm going to mark the edges of his face. This is kind of a soft blended area, but I can sort of see where his cheek is. You may not be able to see it so well because the picture on the video is not really quite sharp enough. And I would probably go out here since I can see his ear, mark where it is. Here, and maybe how much of ear showing there, and then maybe that. And I would probably go up along his hair and mark all that. I'm not going to do it right now. I'm just going to kind of hope for the best here. Okay, so we have it marked out. So now you can go in and actually draw it in or start to shade it. I'm just going to, like, you don't see a lot what's here. There's a, go back. You can do this anytime you need to know where something is. You can go back and mark it that way. I didn't get the bottom of the shadow, so I'm going to do that kind of where I see that. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I would then proceed to draw his eye. Now this is really, really dark. I barely see the crease of the eye coming in there. Remember that you want it to be dark, but you don't want it to get all shiny. So anytime you have a really dark spot, start with your ebony and just build it up kind of slowly by using circular motions or short strokes with your pencil, not anything, none of this, even if it's a big area. If it's a big area, just keep going this way, and it will go just as fast, and your drawing will be so much nicer. So I'm kind of shading where it knows I didn't really mark that eyebrow too well. I'm just going to fake it here and hope for the best, but you can go back and mark what you've missed anytime you need to. This is really dark, so I'm just going to build that up a bit more. And I see little lines of his eyebrow there. So put that in. Now I'm going to go in. It's very dark here along the up the eyelid, and his pupil or his iris. His pupils don't even really show, but there's a little reflection in there. So I'm going to kind of mark where that goes, and then I'm going to go in and shade dark his iris of his eye. Again, just keep that round motion. Now, notice I kind of outlined where I was going to first because I wanted that to be a pretty crisp edge. Now I've got some things that are a little lighter, so I'm going to go down to maybe a 4 pencil. Notice that in here in the white of his eye, it's not really white. There's a shadow here. There's shadows here and some over here. But they aren't real crisp shadows. They're blended. So I can take a stomp and go in there and use that to kind of get that softened edge that I see there and the lighter shadows. I can do that down here on his nose where I see a lighter shadow. Remember to use the side of your stomp and make sure you use one that isn't covered with charcoal. You don't want that in your drawing. You can always go back when you're drawing with your stomp and go back to a dark place and just kind of rub it out so you can pick up some more graphite. And take it to the places where you have more subtle shadows. Now under his nose, it gets darker, so I'll have to come back in with my ebony. I can see a little bit of outline of his nostril there. I need to get that shadow a bit darker to match up over here. And I'll start with pencil and kind of build it slowly. But see, I'm moving right along. It's not taking me too long to do this. Now my stomp again, kind of soften that shadow a little bit. Darken it up here a little bit so make it blend into that other side. This one really needs to be darker, so I'll go in there and work that up a little bit and then soften it on the bottom edge. There's my stomp. It's a little more blended. Now you can go in like where you see his beard here and kind of give it a little shadow there. But then you may want to go back with your pencil and add the beard growth texture there a bit. I'm going to real quick do his mouth. This is a 6B pencil because this is dark. Try to make it match up with the other side here. And the edge of it is lighter, kind of, up. But this side's dark, but this little edge that blends in is lighter, so I have to do with my stomp and kind of make that match. It's kind of soft looking too. And I think it's got, I kind of got the shape off a little bit because his lip, like part of his lower lip comes up there a little bit. So let's see if I can't lighten that up a little and get it looking right. And maybe a 4B again. Keep looking to start to get a lip shadow there. There really isn't a distinct line over here. It just sort of blends into his cheek. So, and this shadow under his lip is kind of what makes his lip look three-dimensional. So, do that with the ebony to get it dark enough. Just remember that with your stomps, sometimes you have to go back and you need to do a little more defining things because they don't look quite as defined as they should be. Now out here, obviously, I would have to start blending him into this because it's a very dramatically lit drawing or photograph. So I would have to work on building all this up with dark. And I could measure out there where his collar goes. And I'm just going to do this much to show you. And again, just kind of circular with your pencil where you need to do that. Use my stomp, because that looks kind of harsh along the edge, but blend it into where I know the shadow blends out there. And then I'd have to go back in, obviously build that up just a bit more because it's not real dark there. Pencil can be very beautiful. You can do a lot of detail with it. So you could continue on that way and just, do the whole face. Maybe yours won't have as many shadows in it. Try to match the values. That's the big thing. Try to get things the same darkness that you are seeing. So you've got to push. You've got to, what I call push the darks. You've got to, if it's black, you've got to darken it to make it look black. So I'm going to show you then how you could actually finish this face. Say that you've got this left half done. It looks pretty good. And you're pretty pleased with it. I haven't done the ear or any of that yet. So I like that. So what I can do is just put this down, line it up, add a little tape to the top, bottom, and the outside edge. And then I can lift this side up and work the same way, marking my spots where I see edges. And voila, look, somebody has already drawn this half for me. Actually, it was me. Now, when you then finish both sides, you may have to go in to the middle and kind of, make things work there. Make your shading match up. I got darker on this side, and I didn't finish this shadow. I was kind of hurrying along to try to do it. But anyway, it will get you started on a drawing, and hopefully a drawing that you'll feel pretty good about. If you only want to do half of it, you can just do half of it. But you can actually make a full drawing this way. It's a great way to start and kind of get a feel for using the pencils and putting shading in where you want it. So, okay, hope that helped you get started, and I will see you in class.